Hey guys, I'm Sarita.
I'm Nikki.
And we're your favorite sisters. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
We like to bring you books, content, and a little bit of everything else.
I am your favorite big sister.
And I'm your favorite little sister.
If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, hello, our loves.
Welcome back.
We are so glad that you're here. So today we have something fun for you guys, okay? It's something that we wanted to just do that was a little different for us, to kind of help us to get to read more books and different types of books. So we decided to go trope crazy. Yes. And try things that aren't normally our cup of tea.
So I will link in the cards the original video where we describe and really get to the meat and grits of what a cup of tea is. But Sarita, explain to the people real quick.
So it's basically something that you normally don't do. You know, like I'm not a friends to lovers girly. So usually that's not my cup of tea. But there are times when I'm drinking it, baby, okay? So we decided to put all types of tropes in these jars. Yeah. All kinds. Nikki has her own jar and there's crazy things in here, stuff that I had never even thought of. I'm not a trope girly, but Nikki is. Nikki knows so many tropes. But when I tell you she searched over 100 tropes, we handwritten them, we folded them ourselves to put them in here to pull out different things.
Google was very helpful with that.
Yes, you guys. And I feel like we did a good job, right? Nikki, go ahead. So what was the trope?
Okay, so last time we did age gap. I do apologize. Originally, we were supposed to come back to this in like January, I believe. But y'all know your girl's not been feeling well. So I am so sorry that this is challenge. It's so late. But moving forward, we are going to make a real effort to get it out to you guys every month. And now that the challenge is really going, we have to read 2 books. Okay? Last time it was just 1 and I struggled. So now it's 2 books. Do you want to talk about our books first or pick our next books?
So I think you should give us the definition of an age gap.
Okay.
The reason this is interesting, you guys, is because
Sarita's a rebel.
It's not because I'm a rebel. It's because I don't read synopsises in stories. So I don't really know what I'm going to end up with.
That's a good point. Was this hard for you?
This was very hard. I literally started 10 books trying to find one that was actually an age gap. And I finally said, listen, bitch, you're going to have to read these backs, okay? So that you can understand what you're trying to do.
So the 10 books, you just was like, oh, they look different age on the cover. Let me read this. Like, what was your method of madness?
So what I did was I kind of did books that maybe looked like he was slightly older, or I did books where it kind of was like he had a little gray hair or something that I just automatically
assumed. Only went off the cover. It's ridiculous.
But that's not easy, you guys. It's not easy. And don't get me wrong, I did come across age gaps and some of them I really liked, but there was one that just stood out like above all the rest, and I'm so glad that I went with it.
So I am a synopsis reader, but I came from this from a whole different place because I wanted to challenge myself a little more, and I'm going to attempt to only do new authors to me, because there's certain authors that I don't care what trope it is. I know I'm going to enjoy it because I love their writing. So I kind of wanted to challenge myself more. So I actually Googled black romance age gap stories, and that's how I found it for you. For myself.
I mean, that's smart. You smart. Like,
okay, let's tell us about your book first, because your book is thick.
Okay. So you guys, when I tell you,
I'm sorry. The definition of age gap is a romantic relationship where there is a big age difference between the lovers.
Okay. When I tell you guys that this cover was so gorgeous that I couldn't do anything but have it. Look at this cover.
It looks like an old Hallmark movie.
Oh, you guys, this cover. I was so drawn because of, like you said, the old feel to it. Like, look at his hair. It was like that pompadour swoop, and him just wearing this like tweed gray kind of suit in this blue. Just the colors, the contrast, they look in love. Okay,
yes, they do, baby.
Like, they look
That's real
love. And then they both have boutonnieres, so I'm like, okay, is this a, prom romance? Like, what's really happening here? But then
my question is,
look at this.
They both look the same age.
Yes, they do. Okay, so now this is why we needed the definition of the tropes, because, okay, so let me get started here. The book is Out of Time, Into You by J. Bell. This is my first time ever reading anything by J. Bell, but it will not be my last. This man is a storyteller, okay? It was 12 hours and it was 30 minutes. The narrator was Kevin R. Free. He's actually a new narrator to me. I feel like he did a great job. So let's talk about the story, okay? The story, it takes place in our time, right? But then my boy Reggie Valentine travels back in time to the 1950s.
So your age gap is time travel.
He was 18, okay, and he fell back in time. I'm not going to tell y'all how. And he met Daniel Parker. Yes, they were 18, but they were 65 years apart. Yep. 65 years apart. My man literally travels. Mind you, y'all. Wait.
I was going to say,
this is Reggie Valentine, okay? Oh. So a black man that travels back to the 50s, honey. And not just a black man, but a gay black man, okay? And baby, it wasn't easy, okay? It wasn't easy to find. But a gay black man in the 50s. Honey, this story was so phenomenal. The storytelling was so magical, and you felt everything. Like, I mean, they took it so far as to actually do historical moments. Like, we got to meet the Little Rock Nine. We got to talk about Emmett Till and actually be in those times. It's one thing to experience them now, right? Being able to look back and be like, oh my gosh, that was so horrible. But to be there in the time and not be able to defend yourself was, I mean, the emotion was so real, you guys. And just the fact of going from where you get to walk around every day and be your comfortable self, be proud to be in your skin, to where you are too scared to even touch a man's hand without it being considered like a death sentence. Like, I mean, it's punishable. Like, you can go to jail for being comfortable. And the fact that he's from a time where Reggie is allowed to speak his mind. When people will look him in the eye, he goes back into time where he's considered less than a man, basically. And it is hard, okay? And he falls in love with Daniel, baby. Listen, Daniel says G will, okay? Come on. Who ain't gonna fall in love with a man that says cheese? Like, the narrator was phenomenal. And when I say their love was so pure, it was so pure. It was fun. It was beautiful. It was heart-wrenching. I'm not a sensitive reader.
It's your soulless heart. That makes it hard to have emotion when you read. You have to stop.
But it wasn't
You're
emotional.
like the Grinch. Your heart is 3 sizes too small. See, you were thinking something really mean and evil. You're gonna make me spill my tea.
You guys, the story was amazing. It was a journey. Powerful. It was super powerful. It was very loving. It was very like heartfelt. It genuinely helped you understand that we should be thankful for the way that things are. Even though they're not what we want them to be, like we've come a long way.
Right.
And there's parts where, because, you know, it's time travel, right? So there's times where he's literally like, oh, this is going to happen soon, but not yet, you know, like he's not in the era where shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. Mm-hmm. And he actually had to go and do like hard labor, like actually be there working in a factory, like, and having issues with breathing and literally thinking about like, man, we either are weak or they was real strong. Okay. You guys, again, this story was perfection. I'm telling you that I love this story so much. I recommend it. I will read it again. There will be some emotional parts for people. It doesn't, you know, like the tags or whatever.
Triggers.
The triggers. I went through and it doesn't really have like bad triggers, but it just says it's meant for mature audiences. But I will say, like, if you are more sensitive, there might be some touchy things for you. But for the most part, the story is nothing but genuine love. Like, if I could be loved like that,
that's so beautiful.
it was amazing.
How many sips?
Oh, baby, it's 5. This was
What about the lights?
Let me
For those of you who don't know, our rating system is sips instead of stars. Sip and read. And then our spice levels we do by lights, because Sarita does not like to be in the dark.
never.
So give us your rating, darling.
I thought it wasn't in the dark romance. I did. It was so wonderful that I was going to keep going, but I said, listen, I like my men's to get down, okay? So I didn't think I was going to be able to like it, but baby, the things you can do when I drive in. I loved it. The lights were lighting and they were romantic. And I thought, he is strong because he's using Crisco. Again, Out of Time, Into You by J Bell.
Wow, okay. I kind of went a different direction. I did Naughty, Nice, and Slow by Tisha Andrews.
Just talking about romance and
I know.
love. Maybe you should have went first.
Because now I look real shallow.
Okay.
Naughty, Nice, and Slow by Tisha Andrews was 158 pages. This is actually part of a series. It's like, I want to say 12, maybe between like 8 to 12 different authors, and they all came together to do a series. So the story, you don't have to read them in order because they don't kind of connect, but they just have this like one theme. I wasn't ready for this one. We have Charlie Bales Campbell, and she goes by Bales, who she is just this independent, strong, I am woman, hear me roar, I don't need a man. She kind of got traumatized from her parents' relationship. Even though they're still together, she feels like her mother just gave up and submitted too much to her father. So she's like, even though she doesn't want to admit it to herself, she's very anti-relationships. Like, men have their purpose, and that's where they need to stay.
Okay. She's a lesbian?
No, she is not. But it doesn't happen in the book, but there is a line to make it clear that she will dabble with the girls.
Okay.
It doesn't happen in the book, but... and then we have Parker Avery's. And Parker is a war veteran. So is Belle's father.
Okay.
He is a war veteran, and he's just angry. He's bitter, but he has taken it upon himself to help other vets. So he has like a nonprofit organization where they can come and get therapy. They help them find jobs. Awesome. Like it's a beautiful thing. Like it's truly a beautiful thing. There is a 13-year age difference between Parker and Bells.
Well, I would be like, whoa, 13, but they were 65 here. So I don't have the right to judge you.
Well, it's funny because to me, I always felt like for it to be an age gap, there needs to be at least 5-year age difference. in my humble opinion, because some of the stories that came up when I searched them was like, oh, there's an age difference or age gap, but it was like 2-3 years once I started reading them, and I'm like, to me, that doesn't feel like an age gap. I need at least 5 years, because within 5 years, you guys have experienced different things to really bring home that age difference, the drama, the taboo-ness of it all. So I see where your age gap comes in. I feel like you played, but I see where it came in.
Y'all tell me, do y'all believe it was an age gap? Because
I think they have different upbringings. I think it was. You're never gonna do it the A, B, C way. No, you're gonna jump to Z. You're just gonna find a loophole, and I love that about you.
Thank you. But I don't think it was a loophole.
Okay.
I clearly knew the assignment.
Okay.
She is sleeping with her daddy.
He is younger than her father, even though he's old enough to be her father. She makes a point of saying it. It was very much giving grumpy sunshine-esque trope. Bells was just a free spirit, and Parker just didn't want that in his face. So they instantly clash, and it's just like electrifying, especially because in his head he's like, stop thinking about this little girl like this.
So is this like an enemies to lovers?
Yes, you could say enemies to lovers-esque, but again, I felt like the main trope was grumpy sunshine, which kind of can lead to enemies to lovers, but the sexual chemistry was so explosive. I felt like it took too long to happen, I'm being honest. Like, they put up a really good fight. And I love it because Parker also is like, he don't need a relationship. Women are complicated, they're stressed, he don't need that. They're also, for one thing. It very much is in the BDSM realm.
I dropped my fan, but I like
Yes, okay. Parker is very much that aggressive dom, okay? Very, very much giving masochist.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, not masochist. She's the masochist. He's a sadist.
Okay.
But what I like is he's very clear about the rules and standards. He's not playing with these girls. They come willing because he's packing. He is packing. I felt like in 158 pages, you got a lot of their backstory, their history. You got a lot of their story. It was good. It was explosive. It was fun. It was not predictable, but like not in a bad way. Okay. Like, I kept expecting certain things, like for the lights to hit sooner. Because there's lights in the beginning, but not lights like at the end. They become blinding.
Okay.
So I expected that to happen earlier.
They had like mood lighting.
Yes. There was a lot of build-up tension. I would say for 158 pages, it was a slow burn. That's what it gave to me. Okay. But I was entertained throughout the whole thing. I highly recommend Naughty, Nice, and Slow by Tisha Andrews.
So would you read more of her?
Yes, I would. I felt like this was just a taste of what her writing style is. I would like to read more.
Okay.
So I gave it 4 sips. Excuse me. And I'm giving it 4 lights just because for this particular series, this is not the only book I've read. I thought there would be more lights. But when they did come, they were lighting. Okay? Mm-hmm. Very good.
And I will say what I liked about my story with the lights, because I like my stuff nasty. Mm-hmm. What I liked about it was of the time. You know what I mean? Like
soft and romantic.
Yes. It was wonderful. So would you say that it is your cup of tea?
Age gap has always been my cup of tea. But I will say having to search it out was interesting because I was like, after I read it, I was like, damn, 13 years? That's a lot. But I read like 10 years, so I don't know what the difference was. I don't know. Paying attention to the age really hyper-focused on the age for me. Mm-hmm. What about you?
So I will say that age gap can be my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. I will actively try to seek them out. I do have another 9 that I didn't finish yet. So I will say that I like them. But for some reason, I was truly drawn to the of them for some reason. I don't know why, but it just seemed like for this challenge, that was really what jumped out at me.
I feel like you've been in your MM bag lately, though.
Yes, I do like romance, but for some reason, it wasn't that I was just specifically searching for it for the age gap. That's just what was catching my eye. And I was enjoying it. I really do. I feel like that protective side from the man, I like it.
Very
So I will definitely say it is my cup of tea.
Cheers.
So, let us know how we did, you guys, because we strive to tell the book without telling the book. And sometimes
I feel like I don't tell enough. Like, I feel like you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Especially a book that I'll read after you've read it and you've done your review. I'm like, huh, she did an amazing job. I thought I knew and I knew nothing. I'm still struggling with that, but I think you do a really good job with it.
Thank you. Sometimes I feel like I get too passionate about it, so then I'm like, girl, what the hell are you talking about?
That's what makes it fun.
You know, like, talk about the book. So, are you guys ready? Let's see.
I'm nervous.
Oh, wait, do I pick or do you pick?
Oh, are we not doing 2 books?
Oh, we're doing 2. That's what you were saying. I said, why is that fool saying we're doing 2 books? She said I'm crazy. Okay. She was right.
You go first.
Okay. You can go first.
I don't want to. Oh my God. No! I'm so happy. Regency romances. That's the year between 1795 and 1837. I do not like historical romances.
How did this happen, you guys? Like,
because I'm literally such a good trope person, I wouldn't have found all of them. I should have left out the historicals.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so freaking excited. You do not know that I love historical romance so freaking much. This just made my day.
Well, I'm not too upset about mine.
What did you get?
Why choose romance?
What does that even mean?
Why should I choose one lover when I could have multiple?
Well, are we supposed to find that all in one book, or are we supposed to find 2 books?
I don't know if you're gonna find that in
I don't know if they were out there like that back in the day.
That would be a trick if you can.
If I can, we shall see. So let us know if age gap romance is your cup of tea,
or if you are as distraught about Sarita's pick as I am.
I didn't know, it was random. Like, how was I supposed to know? If you guys do have any that are your faves, please send them to me.
I don't even know where to start.
I definitely prefer black romance, but as you guys can see, I will dibble and dabble, okay? So if you guys have any, please do share. And why choose?
I have a book in mind for that, but it's not a new author. Dang it.
So you're gonna try to only do new authors?
I'm really gonna try.
I like that.
Oh man, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, ring a ding ding. Until next time. Bye guys.
See you soon.